Soil color, soil temperature and soil air are also important physical properties of soil. Color is about the most obvious and easily determined soil property. Soil color is important because it is an indirect measure of other important characteristics such as water drainage, aeration and the organic matter content. Thus, color is used with other characteristics to make many important inferences regarding soil formation and land use. Soil temperature affects plant growth directly below about 9 degrees Celsius and above 50 degrees Celsius. Soil gases are the gases found in the air space between soil components. It is the extension of atmospheric air. Soil color. Soil color is the occurrence of various hues of soil because of various chemical processes acting on it. These processes include the weathering of geologic material, the chemistry of oxidation reduction actions upon the various minerals of the soil, especially iron and manganese, and the biochemistry of the decomposition of organic matter. Other aspects of earth science such as climate, physical geography and geology all influence the rates and conditions under which these chemical reactions occur. Causes of soil color. Soil color is mainly produced by the minerals present and by the organic matter content. Yellow or red soil indicates the presence of oxidized ferric iron oxides. Dark brown or black color in the soil indicates that the soil has high organic matter content. Wet soil will appear darker than dry soil. The presence of water also affects soil color by affecting the oxidation rate. Soil that has high water content will have less air in the soil, specifically less oxygen. In well-drained and therefore oxygen-rich soils, red and brown colors caused by oxidation are more common as opposed to in wet, low oxygen soils where the soil usually appears gray or greenish due to the presence of reduced ferrous iron oxide. The presence of other minerals can also affect soil color. Manganese oxide causes a black color, glauconite makes the soil green and calcite makes the soil in arid regions appear white. Organic matter tends to make the soil color darker. Humus, the final stage of organic matter breakdown, is black. Throughout the stages of organic matter breakdown, the color imparted to the soil varies from brown to black. Sodium content influences the depth of color of organic matter and therefore the soil. Sodium causes the organic matter or humus to disperse more readily and spread over soil particles, making the soil look darker. Soil color index. Color index is the total volume percent of mafic, colored silicate minerals in an igneous rock. The mafic minerals would include the olivine group, pyroxene group and amphibole group of minerals as well as biotite. Color index is one of the many methods used for classifying igneous rocks. If a rock has 60% model mafic minerals, it has a color index of 60. Rocks with color indices between 50 and 90 are termed mafic rocks. Example, basalts. Kinds of soil color. Soil color is inherited from its parent material and that is referred to as lithochromic. Example, red soils developed from red sandstone. Besides, soil color also develops during soil formation through different soil forming processes and that is referred to as acquired or pedochromic color. Example, red soils developed from granite or schist. Measurement of soil color. Soil color should be determined on moist surfaces of freshly broken, not sliced, soil samples. Like any other soil property, color must always be observed throughout soil profile, paying special attention to the differences between soil horizons. Color characteristics such as mottle, percentage and contrast should be observed and recorded. Munsell color system. Soil colors are determined by matching the color of a soil sample with color chips in a Munsell soil color book. The book consists of pages each having color chips arranged systematically and according to their hue, value and chroma, the three variables that combine to give colors. Hue refers to the dominant wavelength or color of the light. Value, sometimes color brilliance, refers to the quantity of light. It increases from dark to light colors. Chroma is the relative purity of the dominant wavelength of the light. The three properties are always given in the order of hue, value and chroma. In the notation 10YR 6/4, 10YR is the yellow-red hue, 6 is the brightness value and 4 is the chroma. This color system enables a person to communicate accurately the color of a soil to anyone in the world. Factors influencing soil color. Soil composition. Soil color and other properties including texture, structure and consistence are used to distinguish and identify soil horizons or layers and to group soils according to the soil classification system called soil taxonomy. Color development and distribution of color within a soil profile are parts of weathering. As rocks containing iron or manganese weather, the elements oxidize. Iron forms small crystals with a yellow or red color, organic matter decompose into black humus and manganese forms black mineral deposits. Environment. Aerobic environments produce sweeping vistas of uniform or subtly changing color and anaerobic, that is lacking oxygen, wet environments disrupt color flow with complex, often intriguing patterns and brightness. With depth below the soil surface, colors usually become lighter, yellower or redder. Organic matter. Soil has living organisms and dead organic matter which decomposes into black humus. In grassland soils, the dark color permeates through the soil surface layers, bringing with it nutrients and high fertility. Deeper in the soil, the organic pigment makes them darker. Humus color decreases with depth and iron pigments become more apparent. In forested areas, organic matter like leaves, needles, pine cones and dead animals accumulate on top of the soil. Water soluble carbon moves down through the soil and scavenges bits of humus and iron that accumulate below in the black humic bands over reddish iron bands. Organic matter plays an indirect but crucial role in the removal of iron and manganese pigments in wet soil. All bacteria, including those that reduce iron and manganese, must have a food source. Therefore, anaerobic bacteria thrive in concentrations of organic matter, particularly in dead roots. Here, concentrations of grey mottles develop. Significance of soil color. If we understand what determines soil color, then we can use color to make some inferences about history, chemistry, and hydrology. For example, an obvious change in color between horizons is a real indication of changes in soil properties which are the result of biological activity, water movement, and weathering. Soil temperature. Soil temperature is the measurement of the warmth in the soil. Ideal soil temperatures for planting most plants are 18 to 24 degrees Celsius. Night time and daytime soil temperatures are both important. Soil temperatures are measured once soils are workable. Soil temperature is associated with the transfer of heat through the soil by radiation, conduction, or convection. Sources of soil temperature. The sources of soil temperature are solar radiation, that is external, heat released during microbial decomposition of organic matter, and respiration by soil organisms, including plants, and the internal source of heat is the interior of the earth, which is negligible. Measurement. Soil temperature at varying depths can be measured by means of standard soil thermometers or even ordinary thermometers. These thermometers can be lowered to required depth within an iron pipe driven into the soil. Soil temperature can often be estimated from climatological data with a precision that is adequate for the needs of soil surveys. Where it is not possible to make reasonably precise estimates, the measurement of soil temperature is estimated by adding 1 degree Celsius to the mean annual air temperature. Importance of soil temperature. Soil temperature affects plant growth directly, that is, all crops practically slow down their growth below the soil temperature of about 9 degrees Celsius and above 50 degrees Celsius. For germination of different seeds requires different ranges of soil temperature. Example, maize begins to germinate at a soil temperature of 7 to 10 degrees Celsius. Most of the soil organisms function best at an optimum soil temperature of 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. The optimum soil temperature for nitrification is about 32 degrees Celsius. It also influences soil moisture content, aeration, and availability of plant nutrients. Factors affecting soil temperature. Solar radiation. The amount of heat from the sun that reaches the earth is 2.0 cal per square centimeter per minute. The amount of radiation received by the soil depends on the angles with which the soil faces the sun. Major part of this energy is absorbed in the atmosphere by plants and also scattered. Only a small part of it reaches the soil. Thermal energy is transmitted in the form of thermal infrared radiation from the sun across the space and through the atmosphere. Condensation. Whenever water vapor from the soil depths or atmosphere condenses in the soil, it increases the heat noticeably. Evaporation. The greater the rate of evaporation, the more the soil is cooled. Rainfall. Rainfall cools down the soil. Vegetation. A bare soil quickly absorbs heat and becomes very hot during summer and becomes very cold during winter. Vegetation acts as an insulating agent. It does not allow the soil to become either too hot during summer or too cold during winter. Color of the soil. Black colored soils absorb more heat than light colored soils. Hence, black colored soils are warmer than light colored soils. Moisture content. A soil with higher moisture content is cooler than dry soil. Tillage. The cultivated soil has greater temperature amplitude as compared to the uncultivated soil. Soil texture. Soil textures affect the thermal conductivity of soil. Thermal conductivity decreases with reduction in particle. Organic matter content. Organic matter reduces the heat capacity and thermal conductivity of soil, increases its water holding capacity and has a dark color which increases its heat absorbability. Slope of land. Solar radiation that reaches the land surface at an angle is scattered over a wider area than the same amount of solar radiation reaching the surface of the land at right angles. Therefore, the amount of solar radiation reaching per unit area of the land surface decreases as the slope of the land increases. Season. Soil temperature varies with different seasons. Soil air. Soil air is the soil atmosphere comprising the same gases as in the atmosphere above ground, but in different proportions. It occupies the pore space of the soil. Soil air can also be termed as a continuation of the atmospheric air in the soil. Soil air is the gases found in the air space between soil components. The primary natural soil gases include nitrogen, carbon dioxide and oxygen. The oxygen is critical because it allows for respiration of both the roots and soil organisms. Other natural soil gases are atmospheric methane and radon. Some environmental contaminants below ground produce gas which diffuses through the soil, such as from landfill waste, mining activities and contamination by petroleum hydrocarbons which produce volatile organic compounds. Gases fill soil pores in the soil structure as water drains are removed from a soil pore by evaporation or root absorption. The network of the pores within the soil aerates or ventilates the soil. This aeration network becomes blocked when the water enters soil pores. Not only are both soil air and soil water very dynamic parts of soil, but both are often inversely related. Composition of soil air. Composition of air in soil and atmosphere are as follows. Nitrogen, soil air 79.2%, atmosphere 79%. Oxygen, soil air 20.6%, atmosphere 20.9%, carbon dioxide, soil air 0.25%, atmosphere 0.04%. Gas molecules in the soil are in continuous thermal motion according to the kinetic theory of gases. There is also collision between molecules. In soil, concentration gradient causes net movement of molecules from higher to lower concentrations. This gives the movement of gas by diffusion. Factors affecting the composition of soil air. Nature and condition of soil. The quantity of oxygen in soil air is less than that in the atmospheric air. The amount of oxygen also depends upon the soil depth. The oxygen content of the air in lower layer is usually less than that of the surface soil. This is possibly due to more readily diffusion of the oxygen from the atmosphere into the soil surface than in the subsoil. Light textured soil or sandy soil contains much higher percentage than heavy soil. The concentration of carbon dioxide is usually greater in subsoil, probably due to more sluggish aeration in the lower layer than in the surface soil. Type of crop. Plant roots require oxygen which they take from the soil air and deplete the concentration of oxygen in the soil air. Soils on which crops are grown contain more carbon dioxide than fallow lands. The amount of carbon dioxide is usually much greater near the roots of plants than further away. It may be due to respiration by roots. Microbial activity. The microorganisms in the soil require oxygen for respiration and they take it from the soil air and thus deplete its concentration in the soil air. Decomposition of organic matter produces carbon dioxide because of increased microbial activity. Hence, soils rich in organic matter contain higher percentage of carbon dioxide. Seasonal variation. The quantity of oxygen is usually higher in dry season than during the monsoon. Because oils are normally drier during the summer months, opportunity for gaseous exchange is greater during this period. This results in relatively high oxygen and low carbon dioxide levels. Temperature also influences the carbon dioxide content in the soil air. High temperature during summer season encourages microorganism activity which results in higher production of carbon dioxide. Measurement of soil air. To determine air content of a soil sample, the materials required are soda can or metal tube of about 6-inch length, graduated measuring cylinder 2 units, mallet or hammer, trowel. Procedure. Calculate the volume of a cylindrical soda tin or tube using the formula for volume of cylinder. Remove both ends cleanly from the can. Using a mallet, hammer the tin or metal tube vertically down into the soil after grass has been removed. Dig can out of the ground. Remove extra soil from the ends with a trowel. The can now contains an exact replica of the soil as it was in the ground. Pour the soil into a larger graduated cylinder. Take known quantity of water in the second measuring cylinder. Keep on adding water from the second cylinder to the cylinder with soil till the soil and the water level raises to the original volume of soil as calculated by the formula. Volume of water added multiplied by 100 and divided by volume of dry soil. Importance of soil aeration, plant and root growth. Soil aeration is an important factor in the normal growth of plants. The supply of oxygen to roots in adequate quantities and the removal of carbon dioxide from the soil atmosphere are very essential for healthy plant growth. When the supply of oxygen is inadequate, the plant growth either retards or ceases completely as the accumulated carbon dioxide hampers the growth of plant roots. Microorganism population and activity. The microorganisms living in the soil also require oxygen for respiration and metabolism. Some of the important microbial activities such as the decomposition of organic matter, nitrification, sulfur oxidation, etc. depend upon the oxygen present in the soil air. The deficiency of air or oxygen in the soil slows down the rate of microbial activity. Formation of toxic material. Poor aeration results in the development of toxin and other injurious substances such as ferrous oxide, hydrogen sulfide gas, carbon dioxide gas, etc. in the soil. Water and nutrient absorption. A deficiency of oxygen has been found to check the nutrient and water absorption by plants. The energy of respiration is utilized in absorption of water and nutrients. Under poor aeration condition, plants exhibit water and nutrient deficiency. Development of plant diseases. Insufficient aeration of the soil also lead to the development of diseases. For example, wilt of gram and dieback of citrus and peach. Influence of soil temperature and air on plant growth. Soil temperature requirements of plants. The soil temperature requirements of plants vary with the species. The temperature at which a plant thrives and produces best growth is called optimum range of the temperature. The entire range of temperature under which a plant can grow, including the optimum range, is called the growth range. The maximum and minimum temperatures beyond which the plant will die are called survival limits. Availability of soil water and plant nutrients. The free energy of water increases with temperature. Up to wilting point limit, warming of soil increases water availability, beyond which it decreases. Low temperatures reduce the nutrient availability, microbial activities, and root growth and branching. The ability to absorb nutrients and water by plants reduces at low temperatures. Summary. Color is about the most obvious and easily determined soil property. Soil color is important because it is an indirect measure of other important characteristics such as water drainage, aeration. Soil color is used as an indicator of organic matter content, drainage, and aeration. Soil temperature affects plant growth. Soil temperature is greatly affected by soil color, water content, and the presence or absence of surface material such as mulches. Soil temperature is the measurement of the warmth in the soil. Ideal soil temperatures for planting most plants are 18 to 24 degrees Celsius. Temperature of the soil greatly affects the physical, chemical processes occurring in the soil. Sources of soil temperature are solar radiation, biochemical reaction, conduction, precipitation, exposure and vegetation, etc. Soil air is the soil atmosphere comprising the same gases as in the atmosphere above ground, but in different proportions it occupies the pore space of the soil. Thank you.